Alright guys, hopefully I can get this in one take here. I haven't had a prepared video on the channel in a while. I actually have a new headset too, so hopefully the audio quality will be better. I've had this headset for a while. It's a Steel Series 7, Arctic 7, and it's Bluetooth, and I sit right next to my circuit breaker, and sometimes if you actually know about electromagnetic interference, circuit breakers can interfere with Bluetooth signal. So I had to stop using this one because the Bluetooth kept cutting out, and I got a different one that worked better for a while, but the audio quality wasn't as good. So I switched back to this. I haven't had any problems since switching back to this headset. So um, I'm hoping that this headset holds up for me as far as connectivity and stuff. So um, I wanted to do a little bit of a prepared video. I mentioned it on my vlog the other day, briefly, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth recently. I always mention that I'm a good set picker, right? Um, and it's not, so I want to go over kind of like some of the criteria I use in order to make that claim, and hopefully be able to help you guys distinguish from some of the obvious, not skips, but like stuff you don't have to go in as deep to, like some of the stuff where when you see it, you should be like, I want that set. Like I want a position in that set. There's one more thing I want to pull up ahead of time. Hang on, let me see. I want to do one more prepared little slide for you guys before I go into this. Give me one sec. Sorry. Hopefully, Gemini can understand my horrible spelling, so I don't have to spell check this. I just want a quick little table for you guys. I got the one slide pulled up, but okay. Do do do. Let's see. Is this? Hang on. Okay. So here we go. So I got my slides prepared. So all right, the main criteria I use to determine if a set is going to be a good English investment set or not is I look at the top chases in the set. So I look at the species and the rarity level. So what are the top chases in the set? What are people going to be ripping for, digging for to complete? Um, is it a popular species set? AKA terrestrial evolution, prismatic, right? It's an Eevee set, duh. Is it a Charizard set? Is it a set where, people are going to want to chase that Charizard? Now, not all Charizard sets are created equal because, like I just said, it's not just about species, it's about rarity level too. Obsidian Flames has a gold Charizard. I'm sorry. Uh, not Obsidian Flames. Phantasmal Flames has a gold Charizard that's like a 1 in 1,000 pack pool. So, duh, it's going to take a little bit. I mean, it's up there with like alt art level pull rate. So that hits for a couple different reasons. You have species collectors, you have set complete collectors, you have just gold collectors that collect just gold cards. So does your top hit subsets of chases too? And popular ones too, right? So like again, going back to species, right? Why perfect order is not as good as Phantasmal Flames. Yes, there's that gold chase that's 1 in 1,000, but it's a Zygarde. It's not a Charizard. So it's not the popular species hit. So you got to look at, is it a popular species set? How many of those species are in there? Okay. What's the top chase level? What's the type of chase, too? Going back to Sword and Shield boxes, not everyone was really clamoring for the rainbows anymore. It really was not that popular of a card style. And to be fair, most of the golds aren't that popular either. So I'm gonna be honest, if these same gold cards were released, but in a easier to pull, like 1 in 500, I don't think they'd hit as much. It's the fact that there's such a high chase level to these gold pools that makes people really, really want them all of a sudden. It's not so much the card. The card's not aesthetically that good or even that unique. It's not a concept that's new. Like the chromatics from black and white. This is another thing you have to analyze. So the chromatics, that's a unique art style that's never been done before. You could say the silver dialga, they're different. They're different than that too. So those may hold up long term just for the fact that they've never been done before and probably will never be done again. Now you could argue, is Reshiram and Zekrom and Victini that popular of a species? They're not A tier. They're not S tier. Sorry, they're not S tier. It's not Gengar. It's not Charizard. It's not Umbreon. It's not Espeon. It's not Rayquaza. It's not Giratina. They're mid. They're mid. So they're not S tier popularity, but they are S tier rarity level chase. They're just unique, so they're going to hit for that. So if you want to make yourself like a checklist, like how many of these boxes does it check? Like you got to like there's no equation I have. It's just these are things I look at. And the last thing I look at, aside from almost its own category, and I'll tell you why, is the depth of the set. The depth of the set. How many chases are in this set, period. Because if you get a set with, 45 IRs and, 30 SIRs, they might not have to have, it might not need to be a Gengar set. It might not need to be a Rayquaza set with like some banging SIR no one's ever seen before. You know what I mean? AKA Paldea Evolved. Now, Paldea Evolved does have that Magikarp. Okay, cool. It's a Magikarp. There are some Magikarp species collectors out there. It's also Shinjikonda art. So, yes, artists too. You got to look at popular artists because there's artist collectors also. So it does have those, and it does have a Gyarados in the background of that card. Most people forget that. And I do know there are a lot of Gyarados collectors too. So it does hit those three things. Plus the set was print shit quality. So, is the set shit quality print or is it good quality print? Is the PSA 10s going to hold up in price? Or are they going to go, is it easy to grade a PSA 10? Not my top considerations. It's more, but the one thing Paldea Evolved does have for it is it's a deep set. So it's a deep set. There's a lot of SIRs and there's a lot of IRs in that set. The Raichu, like it's got a lot of hits. You can analyze other things too. The fun factor of opening. Some would argue that an easier opening experience could translate into more people wanting to open that in the future. That's going to be for people that remember the set. Like if you have an 8-year-old who's just getting back, or like parents buying packs for their kids or whatever in the future, who's going to really, really remember that Paldea Evolved was like a hit every 3 packs? I don't know. You'd have to do some digging for that one. Like I remember that because I ripped a ton of it live, and like a lot of people remember that up until Obsidian and Scarlet Violet. The hit rates were really easy. But like your average person's not going to know that. They just buy packs or whatever. They're not going to know that. So I don't know if that's a top consideration. Again, my personal considerations when I'm looking at a set, what I want to go heavy into versus what I don't want to go heavy into. My number one consideration is it a popular species set? Like, what does the set look like? And you got to know in Pokemon what hits and what doesn't. Like, I swear to God, if they put an SIR Gengar in Phantasmal Flames, they didn't do it for a reason. If they did, man, good night. Like, good night. Like a Charizard Gengar set. I mean, Jesus, what's next? Throw Umbreon in there too? Like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So, let's take a look at a couple specific examples. Like, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's go over here. So, the two lists I have pulled up are the first thing I wanted to. So, as far as like how deep the set goes, what a lot of people fail to realize, chat, is there are certain sets that are combined Japanese sets. So right off the bat, you got 3 or 4 sets working for you in one product. English came around and took 1, 2, sometimes 3 sets, combined them into one set. So you're going to have 2, 3 times as many SIRs, 2, 3 times as many IR pools. If you look at the combined sets, so Scarlet and Violet base was so I don't really consider. So sometimes Japan will take one set and split it in half. It's really one big set. That's different than having a set plus another set, So that would be like Neo Genesis. If they took Neo Genesis and made 2 sets out of it, but then added Neo Discovery, like Neo Discovery is its own set. Just like Triple Beat was its own set. Scarlet and Violet is a base set that they kind of split in half for their own marketing reasons, but in all intents and purposes, this is one set. So Scarlet Violet English is 2 Japanese sets, though. It's really 2. Same thing for Paldea Evolved. So Snow Hazard and Clayburst were a dual set. They were released at the same exact time in Japan. So that could be considered one set, but then Triple Beat, where they introduced the starters of the generation, that's its own set. So Paldea Evolved is its own set. Now, why is Paldea Evolved more popular, arguably, than Scarlet and Violet? Because Scarlet and Violet did not have a ton of SIRs. Now you got to look at the set composition. It really did not. It introduced a few, and they were super easy to pull. Super easy to pull. Paldea Evolved had that easy to pull factor, but you have 3 sets. Like, Paldea Evolved is a deep set. Go look at the set list. So you have a lot to chase and a lot to complete. Obsidian, I don't really count. Like, I didn't have a way to filter all this out. Obsidian didn't really count. It had some starter deck cards in it, but it didn't really add an extra chase factor. So these are the interesting ones. So Paradox Rift is Ancient Roar and Future Flash. That's a double set plus Raging Surf. So Paradox and Temporal are 2 interesting case studies. Wild Force and Cyber Judge, again, are one set, so Temporal doesn't really. So these were released at the same exact time. They're brother sister sets. The release date on these 2 was the same exact time. They're meant to be 2 sides of the same coin, almost. Like they're companion sets. Companion sets. That's the word I was looking for. Ancient Roar and Future Flash were also companion sets, but then Raging Surf was its own set. So Paradox. Not to mention that Paradox, I don't know. I don't think these 2 booster boxes got hit a lot in English at all. I know there was a reprint of Paradox, but I don't know. And the thing about Temporal, and I'm waiting for people to realize this, Temporal is a Gengar set. Temporal's a Gengar set. There's a Ghastly IR with Gengar in the background. There's the Morty with the Gengar in it. There's the Gengar Full Art EX. Temporal's a Gengar set. So I went heavy into Temporal. I'm waiting for that to pay off in the future when people start to realize that's a Gengar set. But it's not that deep of a set, though. It's really not. This is just one. It's a 1-to-1 set. It's a 1-to-1 set. Twilight, Crimson Haze, and Mask of Change. These are 2 completely unique Japanese sets. So Twilight is a little bit deeper of a set. It has more SIRs and more IRs. It has the Greninja, obviously. It doesn't have that popular of a species, but it's a deeper set. It's a little bit more sought after. Now we're getting up there, right? Surging Sparks. Paradise, this is the one everyone always forgets. Surging Sparks is 2 sets. It's Paradise Dragona and Super Electric Breaker. And it's on my list of sleeper things to look out for. Right now, booster box wise, Surging Sparks is where it is on TCG Player because it's the only set in the era that got a legitimate, besides Scarlet Violet Base and Paldea Evolved, that got a legitimate booster box reprint. It's the only set that got a booster box reprint. I think Stellar didn't even get the booster box reprint. Stellar just got slammed on release. They printed the shit out of that set. But Surging did get a reprint. And it's even with the reprint, boxes are still at $245. That's insane. And it's the only one that got a reprint. So for all those people out there that just hammer on reprints and reprints are going to crash, reprints aren't crashing anything. They might hold the market back a little bit. It's like holding the floodgate from just taking off, but they're not going to crash anything. I always say this, and nobody ever realizes this. If Pokemon Company can't produce enough on the first release, the release, to tank the market on a box, what makes you think that the little bit they're going to trickle on a re-release is going to do it? Like, they can't keep boxes at MSRP to begin with. Do you think that a second wave is going to do it? It's just going to get eaten up. It's just going to get eaten up, especially with a set like Sparks, because Surging Sparks it's arguably one of the deepest sets we have. It's got some of the most, and it has really popular species, SIRs and IRs. Like, Surging's one of my picks besides Destined in the era to go down as one of the coolest sets in the era. Now, Destined is the one that nobody seems to understand, and I saw it coming a mile away, guys. I have 20 sealed cases of Destined Rivals. No one's, and I got them for $220 a box on release, and I'll never forget everybody arguing, should we buy them at $220 a box? Is this a good pick? And I'm like, are we for real right now? Like, do we not remember Team Rocket Returns? Do we not remember Team Rocket? Like, are we for real? Like, are we really questioning if the Team Rocket set is going to do good in the future? Like, no, you're right, guys. It's going to come out at 200 and it's going to crash to 100 and never recover. Like, bro, please. Like, so, not to mention, it's Heatwave Arena, too. Like, the depth of Destined Rivals is crazy. The popular species in Destined Rivals is crazy. And this is a great transition point to my last point about how to pick a set. Now we're going to talk about special sets, because the one thing everyone forgets about Destined Rivals and Glory of Team Rocket was a Japanese high-class set. Yes, that's right, folks. It was a Japanese high-class set. It released in the special hit in every pack type of, 10 packs per booster box. It was not a normal Japanese set release. Now we're going to look at, this is what I needed to pull up for you guys, the list of Japanese special high-class sets. Not special sets. Like, so a special set would be like, a special set that's not a high-class set is 151. So 151, despite what most people think, is not a Japanese high-class set. It's a Japanese special set. In other words, it released in the 20 packs per booster box. You can get the normal booster boxes. It was not a hit in every pack. Still a no-brainer pickup play, obviously, because it's Kanto. Popular species, it's Kanto. But for those that, don't see the English equivalent of this stuff coming, chat. Like, when Japan releases their annual high-class set, it's supposed to be just that. So when we get that in English, you should go deep on that set. For instance, Crown Zenith. It has Astral Radiance here because the Trainer Gallery subset of VMAX, actually I didn't know this, the Trainer Gallery subset of VMAX Climax was thrown in Astral Radiance, which I completely forgot. Makes sense, but I totally forgot that point. But Crown Zenith, okay? Shining Fates. Shining Fates is the one. So Japan usually does two different types of high-class sets. They have the one that's pretty much the shiny set, and then they have the high-class sets that aren't the shiny sets. Like Crown Zenith, not a shiny set. Shining Fates is a shiny set. The shiny sets can be hit or miss, but the ones that aren't shiny, that are high-class sets, they're the no-brainers. So, Paldea Fates, shiny set. Also a great shiny set, but still a shiny set. But Shining Fate's not a shiny set. But you could take a look at this, and when Paldea Fates, and I'm going to be honest, I missed the boat on Paldea Fates. I was at a time in my life where storage space was an issue. Until very recently, storage space for me is an issue. And unfortunately, storage space on these high-class sets, they're ETB sets in English, and ETB boxes take up a lot of room. At the time, booster bundles were still relatively new. Nobody really knew that booster bundles, sealed booster bundle displays, back when this released, were going to be as popular as they were. Now, looking at it, I am seriously considering moving my position in English high-class sets or one-to-ones from sealed ETB cases to sealed booster bundle displays, primarily for space reasons. So, if you're out there and you don't have a ton of space, and you want to get a position in the English equivalent of the high class sets that are usually ETB sets, which I'm going to end this video on in a second because you'll see where I'm going with this. Um, Consider the booster bundle displays. They sell acrylics to even hold these things. Like, they are becoming a collectible item unto themselves. It's a good way to get a seal, a little bit of more plastic around your just individual booster bundles. People do typically prefer the booster bundle displays because there's some people that think there's one guaranteed SIR per booster bundle display, whereas individual booster bundles are hit or miss. That's not always true, but it has been proven on a couple sets. So there are people that want the actual booster bundle sealed display, and it's less waste, it's less plastic. I now don't have a space issue, so I will prefer sealed ETB cases too. Also, because my distributor tends to give me more of those, I usually only get 1 or 2 booster bundle displays per release, but I'll get anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 sealed ETB cases per release. So, me personally, I'm probably still going to stick with the ETB cases as of now. But if I still had a space issue, I would be looking more into the booster bundle displays because they do stack nice and neat, and you can fit a lot more of them for the same price point per square inch. Prismatic Evolutions. This is like I was like, duh, it's a special release set. It's a high class set. It's not a shiny set. Destiny Rivals, again, this is why it was a no-brainer for me. I'm like, guys, this is a high-class Japanese set. Now, the new one that everyone seems to be arguing about all of a sudden is Ascendant, guys. So, listen. This is another thing you guys need to realize is sealed ETB cases are not being produced much anymore. The Pokemon Company in the Scarlet and Violet era moved away from sealed booster box cases and sealed ETB cases. And they put most of their packs in ancillary products and just right to big box retail. So, in my opinion, you should be picking up the sealed ETB cases of Ascendant. They're $1,200 right now. They're roughly four times distro pricing, because I get them for like 3 something. I don't even remember, 3 something. Excuse me, per ETB case from distro. Whatever. I still bought 15. I bought 15 cases of Ascending ETB cases. In my mind, there's no way that's not a double up in 2 years. At least, maybe even quicker, but at least 2-year double up. You show me another spot you can double your money in 2 years, and any stock investor will be like, you're a genius. So that's what I look for. Is not to mention, like, if you go and look, Ascendant is its own. It's crazy that the amount of I haven't seen a high class set as cool as Ascendant and deep as Ascendant in Crown Zenith. Like, it's got a Charizard Gold that they pulled from the Start Deck 100s, the new Start Deck 100s. It's got the Gengar. It's got the Dragonite. It's got Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Like, it literally pulled the best of almost everything and put it all in one set. Some of the IRs are banging. It's got, Ethan's Mad Cargo, which is a really popular card for decks right now, but they pulled an IR of that. Like, the Metagross, the Stevens Metagross. Like, it's got such a cool, deep set. And it's got God Packs, chat. It's got God Packs. Let's not forget God. I forgot to even mention that. But any set that has God Packs and a chance to pull a $5,000 pack of cards, or a $3,000 pack of cards, or whatever, depending on if it's Prismatic or Ascendant, that's as close to like some sort of collector level one of ones that we're going to get for a long time. So, sealed ETB cases of Ascendant right now are, in my opinion, and this is the thing I have a few people in Discord that I hit up when I find. So I picked up my Ascendant cases originally at $1,000 a case, and then I had to do a claim on eBay because a long time established seller went out of business on eBay, so I had to get my money back, and I actually ended up having to pay like $1,200 a case. Just whatever, it's $200 more a case. I still need my position. It's whatever. You're probably not going to find. The only real question is if you want to pick up So when you analyze a set that's coming out and you look at the things I've talked about, the depth of the set, the species of the set, how many Japanese sets are comprised in this set, is it a high class set, whatever, all the things I just talked about. Your only real question is, one, how much do I want to pick up? And two, when do I want to pick it up? In my opinion, the best time to so we're in a wave release right now. You can gamble, you can roll the dice for that wave too. You absolutely can. I don't. I got other shit to do with my life. When pre-order prices go up for wave 1, that's generally when I've been buying my stuff. I don't want to play around. I don't want to wait for wave 2. I want to get my order in. I want to guarantee I'm getting it. I want to get it, put it in storage and move on with my life. If you don't have quite as much working capital, you could try and play that game of waiting. I would not wait, though, long-term, chat. I would be surprised if we got any booster box case reprints or ETB special set case reprints until that new printing facility comes online. And even then, they're probably not going to go back and reprint. What's the current They're not going to reprint J. We're in J now. They're not going to go back and reprint any of the J block, which is what Ascended is in. It's at the tail end, I believe, of the last timing of the blocks that will that will be out of the 2-year rotation window by the time the printing facility comes online. So I seriously doubt they would even be able to go back and print enough for it to matter. But if they did, dollar cost average in, it's whatever. It's a God Pack set. I think this pickup right now is a great pickup. The other one that Alex from Nostalgianomics keeps mentioning, and I 100% agree, and I wish I kept mine, but again, space issue. Black Bolt and White Flare, they are a unique situation. They were also not high class sets. They were special sets in Japan, but they were not high class sets. But again, they have that chromatic factor, and they do have a Shinjikan Seismitoad in Black Bolt. Those ETB cases are sitting, I think they're up to like 13 or 1400 right now. They were sitting at 1200 for a while. It's 120 in ETB. Black Bolt's better set than White Flare. They're both good. Black Bolt's better than White Flare. It probably always will be. I could easily see those having that nostalgic black, because they don't print black and white cards very often. So for the black and white collectors being able to want to rip those open a couple years from now, I could see those being, $240, $250 ETB. I could see it. If you got the space and you can find some and source them at 1200, don't imagine. I wouldn't do that with it expecting a double up in less than 2 years. That would be my time horizon on those, is 2 years. It's usually my time horizon on anything, if I'm going to be quite honest. But yeah, I wanted to go over specifically, because I've mentioned it a few times, what I look at when I'm picking a set, how many Japanese sets are comprised in that set, species, popularity, depth of the set, and if it's a high class set or not, if it's for the special sets, if it's a high class set or not. Because I know a lot of my people that I follow on here, you guys talk a lot about English, but you don't have to collect the Japanese stuff, but it is good to know about the Japanese products, because that's where your product's coming from. Your English product is comprised of Japanese products, so it's good to know like why certain English sets might be more popular, and like why they're deeper than they are. Because you can set yourself up with your finances to say, all right, I want a position in this set. I know I want a position in this set. Perfect Order, I'm kind of skipping it. It's a small set, and it's not a lot of hits. And the Zygrade's the big chase. It's a gold card. It's whatever. The Meowth and the Starmie, like, I'll take what my distro gives me and put it on a shelf, but I'm not going to buy extra. I think I'm going to have like 6 cases of that set. I don't know. If it drops too low, maybe I'll pick it up, but I'm not spending $200 a box, I could tell you that. I'm not. It's not worth it. Eventually it'll be a 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't like the set. It's not it for me. If I can get extra cheap, I'll get it. If not, I'll move on to the next set or buy more Ascended or whatever. I don't know. That's it for now. I just wanted to go over a couple of these things with everybody. I I plan on doing another vlog this weekend. I don't really know what I'll talk about, but I'll try and throw some Pokemon content in there. Hopefully something happens between now and then. Um, until next time, Echo Base Collectibles signing out.